It's your boy Gianni Versace, and welcome back to episode 2 of No Offense But. And if you haven't seen episode 1, make sure you go and watch that. It's up now. And while you're at it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a notification, an episode, none of that. And I'm ready to get into some things. You know, I took my little good feedback, constructive criticism. I'm ready to incorporate that into my next episode because it can only go up from here. So yeah, I'm excited for today. I'm ready to get into it. So I'm starting with my recap. So anyways, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. We are on Sunday. Tomorrow's Memorial Day though, right? Yes. If they got you working tomorrow, your job don't even like you for real. Quit that job. Fuck that job. And a lot of people was out in DC for Memorial, whatever it is. I don't trust nobody out in DC right now. If you in DC right now, me and you have no future. So if me and you text, talk, whatever, and you went to DC, just know when you come back, you don't got no future with me. I don't want nobody in DC right now. Y'all's out at them Glorilla backyard barbecues under a blue tent playing around. Y'all spent your money to go under a blue tent? Bye. I don't got no time for y'all. I've been spending my Memorial Day weekend in the house, but I did go out Friday. Me and Jessica went out Friday, and we went to this little bar. This girl, I got up, was walking around talking. This girl that managed to get kicked out of the goddamn bar. I'm like, what you do now? Like, what did you do now? I'm on the phone, I'm at the bar about to get a drink. She tell me she outside of her cussing out the damn bouncer, fuck nigga this, fuck nigga that. I'm like, oh, this about to go so left. So I run outside to see what's going on. She didn't got put out because the people she had bumped into, I guess, was like smoking on this back patio inside, but they weren't supposed to be smoking inside. They were supposed to be smoking outside on the front patio. So I'm over here trying to have a regular conversation, like a cool, calm, and collected conversation with the bouncer. She too busy still cussing him out. I'm like, bro, that is not gonna get us back inside. And I'm not trying to leave because I'm actually having some fun inside. So I'm like, all right, boom. I'm trying to talk to him. I'm like, girl, just hush, just hush. But it's so nice because people be trying to make me seem like I'm the problem when we be going out. Like, I'd be the one always getting into it or always being the reason we can't go in or whatever the case may be. So it was just nice to not have to be that person this time. So thank you, Jessica, for that. But I ended up talking to him, calming him down. He ended up letting her come back in, and we enjoyed the rest of the night. That was a good night. We were supposed to go out last night, but we were just too tired. Might fuck around and go out tonight. Who knows? But other than that, Memorial Day weekend, it's just been another weekend for me, honestly. We also went to a housewarming for our friend. Let me tell y'all something. When I come, do not please, I don't think it was intentional, but when I come to an event, I do not want to be part of the cleanup or the setup committee. Don't invite me nowhere if I got to clean it up and set up. If we didn't already talk about that on the back end before I came. Her dad was trying to get me to help put the table together. I buy the stuff already that I can put together. I mean, that's already put together. I might buy it secondhand just so it's already together. I don't want to put nothing together when I get there. I don't want to be on the cleanup committee. I just want to come, laugh, drink, tell some jokes, and go the fuck home, okay? But it was nice. We got to sit, talk, drink some wine. It's always nice when your friends are doing the things that they said they wanted to do. She been wanting to get a house. She finally got her house. It's a good home. So it was nice for that. And we had all said different, towards the end, her godparents are they're a pastor and the pastor's wife, the first lady. So, we always have to incorporate, Jesus, God into the sentiments and having what was it called at the end? Blessing the house. And we had all just went around and kind of said, things about her. And that was really nice. I wasn't prepared for that either. I think you should also let people know when they're going to be doing public speaking. But, I came up with something on the whim, and I think it was very touching. So that was also nice. And then I just spent the rest of my day in the house. I was super tired yesterday. I think a lot had took a toll on me. And moreover on the thing, what's going on with me now? I feel I've been trying to find my way with the whole dating scene in Atlanta. And honestly, the dating scene in Atlanta is trash. I would not take nobody in Atlanta serious. When somebody moves to Atlanta, you got to get them right before they get inducted into the whole Atlanta lifestyle, or it's they get consumed with the Atlanta lifestyle and the fast this and cute person here, it'd be too much going on. And I don't like it. But so what I've been doing for the longest is like long distance dating. But I used to love it because it was like, oh yeah, you just sneak out of town. Nobody even know who you going with. It's this, it's that. Like, but it's honestly, it has its own problems as well because it gets to a point where like in the beginning it's cool, y'all not in each other's face all day, but then like once the feelings start to develop, you know, you be wanting to see them more. And if y'all aren't like both traveling, like it can't just be on one person to always travel. It has to be mutual or somebody gotta wanna move at some point. And it seemed like it never gets to that point with, at least for me, it never gets to that point where like one of us is gonna move or we're seeing each other enough, at least enough for me. Like, and when I say enough for me, I feel like y'all need to be seeing each other like once a month, I would think. And I feel like even that's a little bit like, but like, let's say like a week out of the month, like something like that. Like, I don't know, eventually as things progress, just depending, I guess, on your work schedules and etc. So that just gets draining. But the reason I don't like dating in Atlanta is because I feel like I be hearing so much stuff about y'all. And then it's like, it be people from people I know. So it's like, who wants to talk to somebody that they, like 5 of their friends and ran through? Or y'all got like an OnlyFans and y'all Twitter stars. Or y'all just not that healthy. And quite frankly, I just love my life too much. Like, I don't know, I just don't want to deal with that. And then, but you know, the same thing be happening with the people out of town too. It's just the only difference is you don't know they tea because you don't know people around them. But once you get inducted, it's like, okay, now you might catch it. Like you might be in Atlanta but catching the tea from New York, or you might be in Houston catching the tea in Atlanta, like whatever. And honestly, it's really no difference between like people in different states. Like they're gonna be doing the same shit. Like it might maybe even worse. So like you might be better off just knowing what's going on right here in your own city. I don't know. I feel like I be liking the people out of town way more. Maybe it's because they out of town. Like I can't fully have them. I don't know. But I've even tried overseas. Overseas ain't no good either. Actually, it's kind of worse. Kind of worse, quite frankly. And then it's just like the accent on top of it. It's just like, you're blowing me. Like you're blowing me. But yeah, that's just me. Like, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna not date until I leave Atlanta. Like maybe once I leave Atlanta. And I've also come into the realization that maybe this is not my season. Maybe I'm not supposed to be with nobody right now. I'm supposed to just be doing this, like my content and building up my name and my brand. And then once I'm like fully situated, then I'll be ready to date again. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, okay, I feel like I've been single so long that it's actually hard to want to get in a relationship. And I feel like the more success that you build, it also closes that dating gap as well, like where you're not gonna want to date certain people who don't have certain accolades or don't have certain, you know what I'm saying, things on not just on their belt. Like I might not want to date in like 10 years, I might not want to date somebody who isn't stable. I mean, I wouldn't want to date anybody stable who's not stable right now, but like I would want to date more like-minded individuals, somebody who has something to lose, somebody who has a name for themselves, somebody who has a career, somebody who has certain things. And I feel like that window just gets smaller and smaller, so the standards get higher and higher, but then it's just like, who are you gonna find? But I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with that when we get there, because until then, I'm living single, I'm living me, I'm living free. At least nobody putting, like, knocking my head between the washer and the dryer because I came home late, like, Some of y'all can't even walk around the house and spill no tomato sauce without getting knocked upside your head. But, you know, I don't condone none of that. No DV. I've also been having, like, I feel like I get in these moods where I don't be wanting to talk. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to be seen. None of that. And like my mental health, like, takes a toll. And having to be like on social media and having a social presence, it's like it's kind of hard to take time away from it, because it seems like sometimes when you take time away from it, it's almost like when you come back, it's like having to rebuild your whole brand or rebuild all your momentum. And so that's why I guess a lot of people do make content where make so much like gap, I mean, not gap content, but they make like, they'll take a day where they just do a whole bunch of content and then they'll like post it on those days. And I feel like recently within this last week, I've had like one of those days where I didn't feel like answering my phone. I didn't feel like posting. I didn't want to be seen by the public. I don't even want the social media on my phone. So trying to balance that, you know, your mental health and also being on social media, because I feel like social media takes a big toll on your mental health. Like seeing people don't realize seeing things like even just seeing things on TV, hearing things on the radio, seeing things on your phone, they have a tremendous what's the word I'm trying to use? They have like a tremendous impact, yeah, a tremendous impact on like your thought process and how you're feeling and your mood, and people don't realize that. And that to me sometimes it's so scary because it's like, dang, I feel like I'm on here a lot. And sometimes like that, like when I open my eyes in the morning, that might be the first thing I check. And it's just like, do my legs even work? Are my arms working? Can I even talk? I'm too busy in the bed looking at what's going on with this person, that person. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's why when I catch myself, when I wake up, sometimes I try to like put the phone back down, collect my thoughts for the day. If I don't already have a plan for the day, at least try to plan out my day. And that sometimes helps, but don't get me wrong, like I still have my days. And I think some people think I'm always so put together that I'm never like in chaos, but I live my life in chaos. That's the way I operate. Honestly, I feel like if I didn't live in chaos or like high stress, a little bit environments, like I don't know where I would be. Like I don't like anything too laid back or slow paced because it throws me off. And I feel like I'm just bored, not doing nothing, but yeah. So while we're on the topic of like social media, I have been going down the rabbit hole of everything that has been transpiring on TikTok with the content creator Fanita. So I have not been following Fanita's journey for a very long time. I feel like I've always seen her from when I first got on TikTok, but I never really was following her or keeping like an eye too closely. Like I would just see her when she would pop up on my For You page or whatever. But more recently, a lot of her videos have been on my For You page. So I've recently followed her probably like this last week. And she has been talking about the gap between the payment gap between Black content creators and white content creators. And I think it's very widely known that like Black people and white people, I feel like in any career, any like space, are never really making the same amount of money or being treated just as equal. But she's shedding light on how a lot of her white counterparts are not as entertaining, don't have as much personality, aren't doing as much, have maybe more followers, but don't have as much engagement, but she's still being paid significantly less. And that sparked up a lot of influencers, content creators to talk about that and their experiences that they've experienced with that. Because even I have, like, people have written me all the time and just was like, you know, oh, we want you to promote this, we want to send you this. They hit you with the commission. We'll give you 10 to 20% commission. We'll give you free products. And it's like, bro, and sometimes it doesn't even align with my brand or anything that I do, or it wouldn't even make sense. And when you do hit them with a number where you're like, hey, they'll either hit you with the, oh, we don't have the budget for that, or we can't afford that, or we'll look for somebody else. But then they'll turn around and give somebody with half the amount of followers, half the amount of personality, half the amount of engagement, what you were asking for times two. So it just is kind of like a slap in the face. However, a lot of people were upset with Fanita because they felt as if although she was bringing up the gap in the payment, they just felt like she was the wrong person to be serving this message because of a brand trip she had with the brand called Tarte some time back. And I guess she kind of was treating the brand Tarte is supposedly, allegedly, notoriously known for being racist. I don't really know that much about the brand, so I don't want to just say that they are, because I'm just going off what I've heard. But she had went on the trip and she kind of like was shitting on another Black creator at the time. And then when she got back and everybody told her she was wrong, she kind of like doubled down on it and was like, y'all like ruined my trip. Like, I don't get a lot of these. Y'all should be happy for me, da 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 da. But it's just like, to what expense though? Like, and now also another creator has kind of stepped in once Fanita was bringing up the whole situation with the gap, the payment gap. Denzel, he's another like big influencer, content creator, same thing. And he took to social media soon after she made that video and was kind of like, hey, there's a difference between an influencer and a content creator. Like, basically saying like, y'all content creators aren't really influencing anybody. If you're not influencing, who's the influence? But now that sparked up a whole nother conversation because it's like now you're trying to, people are making it seem like, and I think the first person I've seen that really spoke on it was Jamila, another content creator. And she was basically saying like, you're drawing a line between influencers and content creators when it comes to the brands, they're using the words interchangeably. Like they don't really see the difference between the two. It's just y'all trying to make it, make yourselves look better than the next person. When in reality, anything is considered an influence. Having somebody like follow you. I forgot what his name was. I just seen his TikTok. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But basically he was saying like anybody is considered an influencer if you can get people to follow you, use your skincare, whatever people want to buy, whatever you're wearing, like that is influence. And some people Denzel, he had made that video and a lot of people thought like it was about Fanita, but Fanita was underneath the video kind of like, talk about it, wake it up. Like, so people were confused because it's like, we're pretty sure he's talking about you. I really didn't know who he was talking about. I didn't put the pieces together until after I kind of seen some more videos of it. But now seeing how there's a lot of moving parts and now seeing every video, seeing a lot of reaction videos, I see why they're saying that. I'm not sure. I don't want to put those words like in his mouth, but that's what it seems like. So now also on that, back to what I was saying about that feeling like right topic, wrong person. She has also brought up like how much she was making versus how much like the white counterparts were making. And I think the only issue with that is when you bring in those prices and you're telling it to the public and a lot of your viewership are people who aren't making this amount of money, like nowhere near it, maybe not even in a whole year, it becomes unrelatable. So it's hard for them to want to rally behind you and for you when what you feel like you're getting is like a small percentage of what this next person is getting. Your small percentage is still so much bigger to me or the next, influencer or whatever the case may be. So it becomes unrelatable. And it's like, okay, then she said like other things that kind of are rubbing some people the wrong way. So now it's just like, why would we want to defend you? And you're saying these things. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like I get where she's coming from. I know what she's saying, but at the same time, I think we just all have to be cautious of like what we're saying and how it's coming off to other people too. Like just being situational awareness. I hope that all content creators can get paid equally, specifically people of color. I think it's always, this is the discussion that just comes up so much in just different career fields. But right now, this is the one that I'm in. So it does hit a little different. Now over to the tea, the gossip. Like social media has been in a frenzy these last couple of days. Like Nicki Minaj was arrested at the, I can't even pronounce it, Schiphol airport by the Dutch police on possessions of drugs. Is you shitting me? Y'all arrested Nicki Minaj, Nicki Lewinsky, Nicki the Harajuku Barbie? The lady that invented pink? What? This is crazy. Like, allegedly the police claimed that she had been carrying drugs. And many were confused because she was in Amsterdam and it's wildly known for like its cannabis. However, there are like two common misconceptions about Amsterdam. I learned that it's not legalized there, although they have all these different cannabis shops, cannabis. What else did you say they have over there?
Coffee shops and shit.
Do they have cannabis? But do they have cannabis stores there too, though?
Yeah, yeah. I would think. I don't know. Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. But they have like cannabis coffee shops, whatever. But it's literally like just kind of. It's not illegal, but they don't put too much. It's more so tolerated. Like long as you have under like 5 grams, huh? Decriminalized. But that's the word I use. But when I was researching it more, it said tolerated. Tolerated when it's under 5 grams. And apparently the drugs that they found weren't even necessarily hers. They found like pre-rolls, but her team had advised the officers that they were theirs and not hers. And she was live streaming the whole incident. And they weren't even telling her at the time what they were trying to arrest her for. Mind you, she had a show that night. And I believe, I don't know where it was, but I know she had a show that night. That's why she left the airport anyway. So they put a halt to all of that, threw her in the back of a car like a common criminal. I just still can't get over that y'all arrested Nicki Minaj like the queen. That's treason. Off with their heads. These bitches is nobodies. Like, why would you dare? Nicki? She came here, she tried to give y'all some press and y'all try to say it was beef? And they wouldn't tell her exactly where she was going. She kept asking for a lawyer on live. And they just told her it's 5 minutes around the corner. Like, get in the vehicle. Please stop live streaming. I thought they were going to do something. If y'all would have seen the video, there was literally like 8 different Caucasian police surrounding this little 5'3" lady. This is somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's daughter. Over some pre-rolls that weren't even hers. And she told y'all that. And y'all still tried to play in that lady face. I was looking for the first flight out of Atlanta to Amsterdam to go handle this, cause we gotta go save the queen. We had to go protect the queen. Like, I just couldn't. And she continued updating her fan base via Twitter about what was going on. They said that they had to weigh the pre-rolls, but the people that were supposed to weigh the pre-rolls were nowhere to be found. They had to wait on them. So it just seemed like they were sabotaging her. And she even spoke on that on her Twitter, that she felt as though this was all just trying to sabotage the queen because of how successful her tour has been. And honestly, it has been. We've seen it in the news. She's selling out everywhere she's going, sold out Minaj. Like, it's not a lot of female rappers that can do that. And I think she's even having a more successful rap tour than a lot of males, if I'm not mistaken. But she was later released. I think I want to say like between like 8 and 9 p.m. She was fined, and she ended up having to postpone her show because obviously that was a lot. Like I think a lot of people are understanding that it's not she didn't want to do the show. Like that was a lot. I wanted to get arrested. She was literally in the car. Her phone was shaking a little bit. Like, she was scared. Celebrities are humans too, okay? So I gave her a lot of grace with that, but it was just so nice to see her fan base rallying around her. I think they even showed up to her hotel later that night just to show, you know, how much they loved her and appreciated her. And that's just so powerful how like one person, one 5'3" woman from Southside Jamaica, Queens, can have, you know, cause such a frenzy. Like, that's crazy. I love that lady. And I think all those police officers should each get 100,000 lashings and be fired. Whew. It's so much going on this weekend, y'all. So allegedly, I can't even say allegedly because I've seen it, but allegedly a physical altercation had broke out at the Cannes Music Festival, or Film Festival, between Travis Scott, Tyga, Southside, and AE. He's like the younger, he's not even that young, like he in his late 30s, but he's so much younger than the woman he been dating. I cannot think of her name. Sherry, I think it is Sherry. Yeah, Sherry. I ain't mad at you, Sherry, girl. Better get you some. She getting her guys. That's cougars. Where my cougars at? So apparently they had all attended the film festival, and it was Richie. Somebody, his name is like Richie Afamar. I might be saying it wrong. Forgive me. And I guess he had went up on stage and kind of shouted out, you know, we got T Raw in the building. We got my boy Travis. Da 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 da. But Travis wasn't really feeling that, so he kind of got on stage, expressed his disapproval. He like, nah, I'm not jacking that. Threw the mic on the ground. And I guess AE was trying to like calm the situation down, but then Southside got hype with him allegedly and ended up like pushing him. They got into their little squabble in the midst of that, while Tiger was kind of like put up to the side. Like he really wasn't getting into it. So I can't even, it can't even really say it was between Travis and Tiger. It just seemed like it was one side, one person. He was just hating, seemed like to me. Because we don't have that much information on why it transpired or why he was upset that he called him out. And then Travis and AE ended up fighting while him and Southside was like arguing. It was just a lot. So I'm sure AE probably just sitting dumb. Like he was feeling dumb because he was trying to like de-escalate the situation. Probably, I can't even say it was for Tiger because we don't even know if it was for Tiger or if he was just trying to de-escalate the situation just to de-escalate the situation. But imagine he was trying to de-escalate it for Tiger and then Tiger didn't even really like get in the field with him. However, it's leaving many wondering like, T-Raw, Tiger, he used to also date Kylie. And Travis dated Kylie, had 2 kids with Kylie. Like, is that what it is? Like, is Travis crashing out about that cooch? Like, what is it? Is it the braids? Like, I don't know. We need answers. We need answers. But then we just seen Tiger living his best life on a boat not too soon after. So I guess he ain't really too much tripping on that. I wouldn't be either. There has been a lot going on at the Cannes film festivals. So many of y'all have seen like Kelly Rowland had to get this lady to business. She gave an usher at the same venue the business. She was like, just minding her business, walking up the stairs, waving to the crowd, speaking to the people, doing as she do, living her best freaking life with her motherfucking bob. And this usher was being like super aggressive and trying to like get her off the stairs and up, I guess, into where the rest of the venue is. And you can see like Kelly was being really like sweet. She was just like, trying to ignore the lady. But I think the lady ended up stepping on her dress and still kind of being aggressive with her. And she had to put the girl in her place. She had to check her and let her know like this isn't that. And you can clearly see because she was pointing at the girl like somebody mama when you go in the store and she tell you don't pick nothing else up. Like she got all up in her face. And in the midst of that, the lady who was the usher, the French usher, she's French. She didn't even seem like apologetic at all. She actually seemed a little condescending and just very aggressive. So I don't even blame Kelly Rowland for putting that lady in her place like that. And recently she actually had said that she spoke on the incident and just was saying, I had a boundary and I just had to let her know that she crossed it. And it's crazy because just recently, right after that whole thing just blew over, the same lady on the same carpet, the usher, was pushing this actress. I think her name was, let me see, it was Michelle Tavares. I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong. But she was just trying to show her dress and the lady was being aggressive with her. The girl actually pushed her. And I'm not mad at her either. I just don't understand why that lady needs to be fired. Or they need to put her somewhere else in the venue. Like, she needs to be leaving people alone. And to that usher, I just want to say, don't be all up in Calandria Trinae Rowland's face like that. I don't know where you from, but where I'm from, I know some bitches who would have turned up and turned that whole venue the fuck out, girl. You would have touched all 4 corners of that goddamn red carpet fucking with them. Learn your place. Learn your place. Don't ever play with Destiny's Children like that. So I don't know who be on the boards, who are the heads, who are the people in charge of picking. But Apple has released their top 100 albums of all time. And it's had social media in an uproar because many felt like the albums, first of all, some of those albums up there aren't the best albums of all time. And then sometimes they're not even the best albums from that artist. So why are they up on the like top 100 albums of all times? Who's picking? Who's choosing? Who said this? I really want to tell y'all the name of all of them. Like, should we go through the name of them? Each album, all 100, and count down? That might be a lot. Let's just go to the top 10. So number 1. Well, actually, I'm gonna go from 10 to 1. Build some traction up. Number 10, Lemonade by Beyonce. This was probably the album that made me want to tune into Beyonce. However, I've heard from different Beyonce connoisseurs that this wasn't even her best album. Nevermind by Nirvana takes spot number 9. Did I just say number 9? Okay, number 9 is Nevermind by Nirvana. I don't think I've heard a single song off that album. Number 8, Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. Okay, Amy. Number 7, Good Kid, Mad City Deluxe version, Kendrick Lamar. That had like Poetic Justice, Money Trees. Was that on there? But y'all know how I don't really too much mess with Kendrick no more now. So I just, whatever. I wouldn't know anymore. Number 6, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. Don't know any songs off that album either. Number 5, you have Blonde by Frank Ocean. This had songs like Ivy, Chanel. I think it was a cute album. I don't think I've ever been able to listen to a whole Frank Ocean album from start to finish anyway, to really tell you what's his best. But a lot of people were saying that this wasn't his best. So there's that. Number 4, we have Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution. I never really listened to Prince. I know I just heard like, the real commercial songs, but number 3, we have Abbey Road by the Beatles. And we know the Beatles are like really, really big. I still can't name one single song by them. I'm so sorry. I can't. Number 2, Michael Jackson's Thriller. It's Thriller, Thriller night. Okay, we can give him that. Number 1, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This album, honestly, is the only one I'm not mad at. A lot of people were mad at this. I feel like this is like one of the best albums of all time. Like this album, it's no hits. I mean, it's no misses, all hits. Like, I don't know why people were such in a frenzy about that. I think they feel like it's a great, and it was, you know what was crazy? It was a lot of black people saying this. I thought it was gonna be like a bunch of like non-black people saying that, but it was a lot of black people on Twitter talking about it. And I was just like, why not? And I know later down on the list, they have like Rihanna's Anti, and they also have like SZA's SOS. And she was like, SZA was mad that it was so low. It was like 80 something. And she was like, why is mine so low? Like, girl, take the win, girl. The album is good, but fuck, is it top 10? Probably not. I'm surprised. I don't know if I think they put Nicki on here somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. But yeah, this has me in a frenzy. I think it's all gonna be subjective. We all have different ears, just like we all have different eyes. Like what I may like that a person's not gonna like. So I just wanna know, like, how are we picking it based on what? And that'll probably make the process a little bit more palatable to us. But anywho, Drake. Well, first of all, Sexy Red has dropped, and Sexy We Trust. We love Sexy. We stand in Sexy. Like, this is a Sexy Red loving environment. But on one of her songs specifically, her and Drake do a collaboration, and they rap on the BBL Drizzy beat that was originally made in spite of Drake by producer Metro Boomin in the midst of that beef they had ongoing. And I just think it's so smart for him as a artist, for him as a businessman, to take the beat that is used to like shit on him, rap on it. So now anytime somebody thinks about BBL Drizzy, they're going to also associate it with that song, and he's going to get paid for it. This is why y'all niggas is not like Drake. Like, that's why there's always gonna be a gap. That's why it's always gonna be a line crossed. Y'all are not the same. Anybody that went against Drake is just still, they did nothing. It was like getting shot with a bulletproof vest on. Like, y'all didn't really, it wasn't hitting that hard. So shout out to Drizzy for that. Yeah, that wraps up my hot topics. It's time for the fan fact. So I had took to my social media. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, because eventually I just want to like have it on Twitter where I just ask y'all what's going on, and then I'll ask y'all a question and I want y'all to answer it, and then I'll talk about it on my show. So my ex, formerly known as Twitter, is Gianni Versace, and it's 2 I, so JIANNI Versace. So I had took to my social media and I had asked them, what's the worst thing your ex has done to you and you've taken them back? And y'all have some interesting stories. So somebody has said, he hit me upside my head so hard, my wig came off and fell on the floor. Babe, are you okay? Like, and you stayed with him? Like, was this like a playful hit? Was this like because it sounded like your wig came off. Like, this sounds kind of hard. We gotta let the DV go. DV, it's no room for DV in 2024. I'm just glad that you've made it out of this situation, like, alive. Especially in the midst of all that's going on with Cassie and Diddy and all the people coming up and telling their testimony. Like, if you in a bad situation, get up out of it. I know so many people in like bad situations. I don't know what your situation was with them, but just based off what you've told me, I'm just like assuming. But okay, wig came off. Somebody said, I let my ex hide me in a bathroom while his baby mama dropped off his child. She inspected his apartment before she left the child because she didn't like me. Me knowing who both of y'all are just makes the situation like 10 times funnier. But the women gotta stop with that. Like, y'all gotta stop trying to like, y'all got like, once you and your baby daddy break up and y'all have a kid, like if it's not about the kid, if y'all don't want to be with each other, then y'all need to leave each other alone. Like, y'all cannot be trying to safeguard or gatekeep your kid from your man because he got another girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever the case may be. Like, you're only hurting your child at the end of the day. And to have my homegirl hiding in the motherfucking bathroom shower is crazy. Like, one of them, what's that episode on Euphoria? Y'all know that girl on Euphoria who was hiding in the bathtub when she was sleeping around with her friend's ex. Like, that's what I imagine she was in there doing. And they're like this. Like, that's, I don't know. You should have said that one to the grave, friend. Yeah, y'all gotta stop doing that. Like, let it be about the kid. If it's not about the kid, if y'all don't want to be with each other, let it go. Y'all causing more stress trying to regulate who your man is with and who your baby daddy, baby mama is with, and it's not serving neither one of y'all or the kid. The kid gonna be in therapy messing with y'all. I see a lot of domestic violence ones, and I just want to say, like, that shit is not cute, y'all. Like, nobody that got love for you or that want to be with you, are in love with you, should be putting their hands on you. That is not love. That is not love. That's abuse. And love should not be, what who can tolerate the most from each other. If it's not helping, it's not serving you, if it's not making you feel good, if it's not putting you in a better situation, it's not supporting you, it's not loving you, financing you, baby, let it go. Let it the fuck go and let it the fuck go now. Somebody else says, sold my jewelry, PlayStation, and other shit to fund his drug and alcohol problems. Are you okay? I don't know what I would do if I came home and like something, I feel like a PlayStation 2, like a PlayStation, like, you know how gamers love their games. Like, that is like the equivalent to coming home and selling like a woman's jewelry. And not only did he sell your jewelry, he also sold your PlayStation. I just feel so bad. Like, they would have been out of my house that night. I could promise you that. They'll be roaming around the streets trying to get the money to get all my shit back. I don't care. I don't care if you gotta go out there and sell your own ass. Get back out there and finance my shit back. Oh my God, what kind of jewelry? Like, all right, so somebody else said, during a brief breakup, shawty doubled back to her last nigga that was abusive and then blamed me. That is like another level of like gaslighting, another level of like narcissism. She must be like related to Future. How she left you, got back with her ex that was already abusing her just to blame you for that. How does that work? And how did that conversation go? Like, what did you say in response? I think I might need to follow up with you and get more information on that. That's crazy. And what did you do to make her want to leave you anyway? Questions that need answers. All right, somebody else said, took all the furniture out of my house while I was at work after I caught him cheating. I took him back. First of all, let me just dissect that. You let this man keep the key to your house after you caught him cheating. And was it, oh my God, did you catch him cheating in your home? I just cannot imagine me coming home from a long day at work and catching somebody cheating in the same bed we be sleeping in. I'll tear that motherfucker up. What? Where did you catch him cheating at? It took all your furniture that you paid for in your apartment with your name on the lease? I would have been at his mama's house. Miss Shirley. I took him back the next week and bought all new stuff. So where did the stuff go? Where did the old stuff go? He took it all out of your house and put it where? Assuming he was staying in your house makes me feel like he didn't have his own place, unless y'all had moved into a place together, because you said it was your place. So I'm assuming it's already your place and like he just moved in there. But where did he put all the old stuff? Questions that need answers. Y'all not giving me the full thing. And then you took him back after that? After you had to spend all this money on this stuff, did he reimburse you? Then you said, found he was cheating on me with a bitch that followed me that I didn't even follow back. That's gotta hurt. Like, to know that your man is out here, like, you know, DMing, entertaining other people, but like for you to be DMing, like for it to be somebody that you don't even follow back, like it's still equally bad, but it's just like, I don't know. And you know what it be? And I've experienced things like that before, like where I'm talking to somebody and then I found out they doing some like little flaw shit behind my back. And then it's with a bitch that like, I check their page and then say follow back. Like that hurts. That hurts a little bit. Because it's like, this is not even nobody. This is nobody. Why the fuck is you cheating on me with a nobody? Or playing in my face with a nobody? That want to be me. 9 times out of 10, they be wanting to be you. So the only way to get close to you is by fucking your man. And that's why I don't trust these bitches. No. Don't trust these niggas, no either. None of them. Dirty, nasty, sleazy. I don't trust none of them. Like I said, especially the ones in DC right now. If you in DC, If your man in DC right now, you single. Know that. I wouldn't trust nobody in DC right now. I could promise you that. And then how long did y'all last after? Somebody else said, cheated on me with my roommate. I didn't go back until years later though. That's why I don't want no roommates. Like, imagine. And then you gotta live there. Like, you could break up with whoever, but like you have to live there with your roommate knowing your roommate slept with your man. And it's like, bitch, how long you been plotting on my man? What's going on? And then you talking about I didn't go back until years later though. That don't make it no better. Years later, you know, they always say time heals. That's not true for me. I'm still mad as shit. I'm still mad as fuck. Matter of fact, I'm Tyler Perry mad as hell. Y'all seen what Helen did to Charles? Fuck with me. Fuck with me. I would have threw a radio in that goddamn bath. Electric. Time heals all. Time don't heal shit. I'm still on that same shit. Somebody said they went back to their man after they gave him an STI. That's hard because it's like, I mean, it's not hard. I feel like, who has that rule? I think it's Megan from Bad Girls Club, where she's like, she feels like cheating isn't really like a deal breaker, but I don't bring nothing home to me, and don't let me find out about you cheating in the streets. Like, just keep me happy. I understand why you would get something from somebody and be like, now I can't even trust you like on a sexual level. Like, it's one thing to be like flirting and talking to other people, which is still cheating. I feel like anything that you wouldn't want to do, you wouldn't do in front of your significant other is cheating. So whether that's just like keeping it light and flirtatious in the DMs, or, you know, like just little things like that, it's still cheating. But to bring me home something, it's crazy. Like that, like, y'all gotta wrap it up. What's wrong with wrapping it up? Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Y'all gonna cheat anyway. Might as well just wrap it up. The hell? And I think that's, let me see, hold on. Okay, somebody said, didn't even tell me, nor did they know it was my birthday. That to me says a lot, because now it's like, you're not even, do you even like me? You're not even paying attention to me. You don't know the little things about me, like my birthday. And then usually, like, I'm not saying this is everybody, but most of the time, there are signs. There's conversations that come up about, you know, birthday plans, trips, dinners, outings. People are usually posting them, at least one, or, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody don't do social media or get posted or whatever, but like there's usually, most of the time there's a lead up. There's some people who really don't care for their birthday, really don't talk about their birthday, and you won't know it until their birthday. But I feel like that's something that you ask somebody when you're getting to know them, when you meet them, when is their birthday. Like that's probably one of the first things I ask somebody when I'm getting to know them. Like, what's your birthday? What's your sign? I need to know. I need to know what I'm working with. And yes, I'm one of them sign people. Yes, I'm a witch. So what? But I think that's just like a very telltale sign, like if someone is even interested in you. And a lot of y'all don't even be interested. Y'all just be like attracted and lustful. Y'all need to stop being so fucking lustful. Y'all don't be knowing these people enough to even like them. You just like what you see, and your little body parts should just be talking to you. And then next thing you know, you get an STI. So yeah, just chill. But I feel so bad for you. You didn't deserve that. I hope you found better since then. Someone who actually listens. It's so hard to find people who want to listen. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to have their thought piece. Everybody wants to have a podcast. Hence. But yeah, that wraps up my fan facts. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, like I said. So when I do drop like whatever question I'm asking and y'all respond, I can get y'all into this next one, the next episode. So on to my last and final segment. Usually this is where I do my no offense but, and I just go on my little rants. But something I want to do at the end of each month is do my Orange Couch Confession. And this is where I'm gonna just be letting y'all get a little piece of me, a little vulnerableness, maybe story time, whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna do something that recently happened to me. I'm gonna do a story time on that. I feel like I've told the story so many times. So I recently, like this, within this like first few months of the year, I've been traveling a lot. And at the end of March, I had went on a week-long trip to Europe, where I was going to meet someone I had been like chatting with online. And we had been talking 2.5 to 3 months ish, which I think is fresh, I think, to be like traveling so far. But I also saw it like I'm young, I want to experience, I want to travel, I want, you know, I wanted to do more. And I feel like, why not? Like, I don't know. I'm tired of like living my life through fear. And I think you should definitely be cautious, but I don't want to be fearful. So I had went, were there red flags leading up to? Yes. Did I choose to ignore them? Yes. So that's on me. So I had flew out on a Monday. Yeah, I think I had flew out on like a Monday or something like that. Flew into Paris. The plan was we were gonna go to Paris, fly to Italy, go to London, and then I would go back to Paris and then fly back to Atlanta. Get to Paris, meet up at the airport. I feel like because we had already had like little issues leading up to the trip, but we had got cool, it was still like some kind of like, okay, how we taking the energy? Like how we gonna go about it? But for me, I knew like I did not want to be with, I don't want to do long distance anymore. And I told you that earlier, like I'm over the distance thing. So I've already expressed this to you multiple times before I've come. So I'm just in a space where like, I just want to get to know you. I want to have a good experience. I want us to have a good experience and just be in the moment of just like getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? And whatever comes from that later on down the line and whatever, but I can't guarantee anybody that I'm going to be in a place where I want to be with you like long term, and you're not like, baby, you don't even like, you don't have no, you're across the motherfucking ocean. Like, what am I like? It's one thing, it's like state to state is one thing, but like across the motherfucking Atlantic is crazy. So keep that in mind. Like that was like the major issue, the biggest issue, I really feel like pretty much the only issue really is my unwillingness to want to be in a long distance relationship with somebody I'm still getting to know. They live in a different country, different continent. So anyways, we get there, we're chilling, you know, just, I'm quiet. Like I'm very observant. Like when I sit somewhere, I'm looking around, I'm just thinking like, that's just me. And I think a lot of people get my social, like my presence on social media, my alter ego, if you will, like confused with who I am as an individual. Like there's Gianni Versace and then there's like Gianni the person, like off camera. And most of the time, like I'm just chill, I'm quiet. Like I don't like, you know, around my friends, you know, I cut up, whatever, if I'm comfortable with you, but that has to be built. So as the days go on, I think there was like, we had like little tizzies because there was like this, I feel like a disconnection between, first of all, there's a culture gap and age gap. And then also like, I think there's a gap between who they were expecting and who I was. So I can only be me. I can only be Charlize. I can't be Charlene. Like, that's just the real to it. So we was getting into it because like, as I'm very animated, y'all see I talk with my hands. Also, I speak really fast. Sometimes my mind moves faster than my lips. So speaking with my hands allows me to make sure I get those words out without like stuttering or fucking up my words. And sometimes like I'm a little dramatic. And so that can be misinterpreted by someone who isn't used to that. And I don't want to spend my life or spend time with somebody who's not willing to at least get to understand that portion of me. Like, I'm not saying, oh, accept pure disrespect, the slap, spit in the face, like nothing like that. But I'm American. Sometimes we're a little abrasive. Sometimes, you know, we talk our shit. We speak before we think, like, but it's never in the intent to hurt the next person. And I feel like we just kept having like little issues with that, like with who I was or who they wanted me to be or show up for them as on the trip. And I think the difference was I was on vacation and you wasn't. So where I'm Eiffel Tower, this, that, like it's all fresh and new to me. And I'm basking myself in that also, that ambiance, and then also being an influencer, content creator. Like, I want to record, I want to do this, I need to get my outfits right, I need but you might want me to be like all up under you, like hand and foot. And I'm not even that kind of person. Like, even if you was living in my state, like I've never, like I am affectionate or I can be lovey-dovey, but like I need to feel like I can be like that. And there was times where we was, but I'm not gonna be like that 24/7. That's just not me. It's not realistic to me. That's not how I operate. And sometimes you need to find people who can love you in the way you need to be loved, in your love language. So we maybe just had different love languages, and that's okay. But as time went on, it progressively got worse. And then I felt like I was starting to see a side that I wasn't familiar with. And that's scary because like now I'm scared like, oh, something was gonna happen to me, but like something like I was gonna come up missing, but I was scared of like how they may react to how I was. And I felt like I was walking on eggshells a lot. Like I tried to not say what I would say if I was here because I wouldn't want something outrageous to happen. I don't know, I'm in a foreign country. I don't know what could happen. I don't know the laws. I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, the ball is in your court. And so once we had a little couple things in Paris, once we got to Italy, it still was like, they were still there. And like, even though we would try to like talk about it, work past it, it still would be issues. Like we can be I feel like it all still stemmed from the wanting to be like in a relationship, but I just feel like if we talking about the sun, the moon, the stars, why the hell is us being in a relationship still being a thing like that? The arguments just kept being about the same thing, even though we were talking about different stuff. So the first night, we got into it so bad that in my mind, I kind of just told myself, you know what? I'm gonna just play my role for the rest of this trip. But after this, like I'm cool, because the way this is going, this is not somebody I could see myself like, Mind you, I still had like 5 days left at that point, or like, yeah, like 4 or 5 days left on my whole trip. And we still have a whole other like country to go to. That night was very like a lot, but mind you, I don't have no information on nothing. Like everything is booked. It's like I'm a kid. Like I'm getting here's your flight information as it comes. Okay, we're coming here. I don't know where we're staying. I'm just trusting in you to do that, and that's where I fucked up. You can't be that trusting of nobody. I needed to have information. So once we got into it that night, I'm like, you know what? Let me go down here, get my little WhatsApp, talk to the people at the front desk, get the information, get a key, get this, get that, so I can have, and you know, in case something happens, like I need to know where I'm at. Like I needed to know more. So later on that night, we squashed it, and then the next day we had went on a little excursion, and I tried to just be, you know, nicer. I tried to like think about more of what I was saying or how it would come out or whatever the case may be. But then that's when I started to feel like, like when you got something to say and it's right here and you trying to stop yourself from saying it, and it's just like hurting in your throat right here. I just felt like all day I just was walking on eggshells. Like I couldn't say anything. Like, okay, you said something to me that I feel like I would want to say something back, but I didn't. Okay, but I didn't. Okay, but I didn't. Okay, but I didn't. And it just it's making me mad because I'm not used to doing that. And I don't want to be with nobody I got to do that with. So then the day ends. We go out for drinks later. We have a heart to heart. It seems like we're getting better. We get back to the hotel, then all hell breaks loose again. It breaks it through again. I'm like, how do you keep finding a way to make an issue with everything? Like, where's the love at? Where's the person I was talking to when I was in Atlanta? Like, where's that at? The next morning, it got so bad that they packed their shit up and left me. Packed up all their shit, left me, no flight, no way to get back, none of this, none of that. Like, you a big boy, you could figure it out. There you go. Mind you, it's 6 a.m. I'm laying on the bed, wearing the sheets, can barely, one eye open, just watching you pack all your shit up. Imagine how, in a foreign country, this is the last day we had a hotel. We were supposed to be going to London that night, and I'm just sitting there looking like, all I could say was, you really finna leave? That's really all I could say. Like, you really finna leave? Like, what? So we ended up getting into it again, cause you're not finna yell at me and acting a fucking fool, showing your ass and your titties. Like, I was sitting there like, okay, no, like, this is when I'm finally finna say what I gotta say back. Like, you're not finna we're not finna do none of that. It's not finna be none of that. Threw my motherfucking toiletries, told me to pick my shit up. You know what it is? I got my fat ass over there and I picked my shit up because I packed all my shit and it was time for me to go too. Because I just don't have time for this. And it almost had got like physical because I was on one side of the room and they came over to me to where my stuff was at. I'm like, move. And then we started, it was like a shoving thing. And then I was on the phone with my friend and he was just telling me like, don't do it, don't do it. Like, mind you, I'm in a foreign country. Italy is the most racist country in Europe, I believe. And I don't speak Italian, but guess what? Guess who do? Them. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just calm down. I'm sitting there shocked. And this is one of them hotel rooms where like there's like a little key holder. So when you come in the room, you got to put the little key filer thing in there. So it'll cut all the lights on in the room. So they didn't took the key out. I don't have no electricity in there anyway. Mind you, it's still 6 a.m. Still hungover. Still don't know what's going on. I get up, pack all my shit, find me the next flight back to Paris because I'm having a conversation with the flight company, but they're not being that helpful, like through the little chat. So I'm like, all right, let me just get there, explain what's going on. Hopefully they'll see the severity of the situation. They'll let me come back early, whatever, change my flight. I had to fly from like Naples, Italy to Milan, Italy to Paris. It took me like 5 hours when really it's only a 2-hour direct flight. Get there. They basically tell me it's like $2,000 to change my flight to go back home. Not even the same day because it was like Friday and I wasn't leaving till Tuesday. They were like, it's $2,000 basically, or I could wait till Sunday and spend $100. I didn't like nothing about Paris. The food wasn't good. It was all gloomy. I didn't do really nothing fun. I was too busy sitting there arguing with somebody the whole time. Like, I still ain't even seen the Eiffel Tower. I got to go back to Paris like on my own time. But I'm like, okay, I started weighing out my options. I had to went and go sit down at the cafe, the McDonald's cafe, and just sit there and think, what am I gonna do? So I was like, you know what? I was supposed to go to London. I could just go there and then come back and then go back home. And I ended up, when I had got me like a little train ticket. Went to London. I hit up the only two people I even know that like lived there. And I was like, you know what? Let me see. We'll see what they up to. I guess it was like some events going on that weekend. They both were ended up being like free. So I had got there, booked this little hotel, the Trouble Lodge, and I had stayed there for like, it was like 2 or 3 nights. I think it was like 2 nights. And I had so much. This is when I actually started having fun. Like I did have to cuss a local out, but I really had fun. Like genuine fun. I had hung out with my friend for a little bit. Well, first of all, I got up, changed, showered, whatever. Went over to this little tourist area, took my pictures, did my content, met up with my friend, chilled with him and his friends for a little bit. Then I met up. I don't even want to tell y'all that. Met up with somebody, and you know what? This is like, y'all know them stories like where like you meet up with somebody, like y'all click up and then y'all be together like every day after. It was like that. Like the vibes was good, the conversation was good, like they looked good. Like I was like, okay, this is tea. Like let me find that. Sometimes you really gotta travel to a foreign country for somebody else, get left, and meet somebody else for you to really have a trip you were supposed to have. And as crazy as that sounds, it was true. I had so much fun. The food was better out there. The culture, it kind of reminded me of like a New York. The club scene kind of reminded me of like Atlanta clubs here, but just like a lot of dance hall music. I just had a good time. Like I got my content in, I got my pictures in. Found me like a little Europe boo. Like it's things worked its magic. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always saying I'm blessed. Some people, they leave you for dead and get mad when you don't get left. Cause I just think it's so evil to want to practically beg someone to come to see you and then like leave them there. And I guess they thought I was like one of them niggas that only had $40. Like I couldn't like provide for myself, but baby, I got the fuck on. And I think that's what they really mad at. But you know, you live, you learn, be more cautious. All I can say, my takeaway is just like, be more cautious. Because if I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd do it the fuck again. Be more cautious. No, ask more questions. Don't be so like trusting. And I feel like these are things I already know. So I really be mad at myself because like you already knew. Like I'm no dummy. Like I know a red flag when I see one. Now whether I choose to ignore it or not, that's not your business. That's mine. Let me have that. But you know better, you do better. Still had a grand time. Still had my memories. Still had my experiences. Yeah. So that was my little orange couch confession. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that up. So thank you guys again for tuning in to No Offense But the Show, episode 2. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification when I post. And until next time, y'all.